Hi, I'm Audrey. We're going to be going over the adaptive immune system just in brief. So, this is made up of two main cell types, B cells and T cells. B cells and T cells both share the same lymphatic progenitor. B cells develop and mature within the bone marrow, while T cells start development in the bone marrow, but they have to move away from the bone marrow and finish their maturation process within the thymus. B cells and T cells have specific receptors. Um, B cells are activated by B cell receptors, which are antigen specific membrane receptors. So, T cells, however, have to interact with antigen presenting cells, and these lead antigens to their specific receptors expressed on the T cell itself. So, talk more about B cells. Once a B cell receptor is activated after the binding of an antigen, that B cell begins making antibodies, and those antibodies are a mixture of serum and globulins. Immunoglobulins can recognize and bind to unique structures on specific antigens and perform common functions once bound to the antigen. Successful binding between the antibody and the antigen activates the complement system, and this leads to improved lysis and phagocytosis of the invading cells. And let's talk about the T cells now. The effector could be a specific pathogen activated T cell receptor, or it could be a phagocytic cell activated by the innate immune responses. T cell receptors circulate only at the site of the antigen expressed on the antigen presenting cells, and they have to interact only through cell to cell contact. This is different from B cells because B cells circulate throughout the whole body and tissues. T cells have several distinct subpopulations that perform unique functions, and all of them are kind of aimed at aiding B cells in some shape or form. The T cell subpopulations are as follows: B cell helpers, and these enhance the production of antibodies through cytokine release, causing various proliferation and differentiation signals for the B cells. And then we have inflammatory effects. These release cytokines that lead to movement and activation of monocytes and macrophages, and those are the main causations of the inflammatory response overall. Then we have regulatory effects. These are also cytokines that have a wide variety of effects. Namely, they have an active role in suppressing autoimmunity, and some drugs like to focus on that. And then we have cytotoxic effects. These have effects on both lymphoid cells and non-lymphoid cells, and they communicate with many cell types to collaborate a variety of responses. So, in summary, the two main effector cells are B cells and T cells. B cells are aided by T cells to make antibodies. T cells release vital cytokines that both activate B cells and regulate the aspects of the immune system. B lymphocytes remain circulating in the bloodstream, lymphoid organs, and the body's various tissues, contributing to memory immune responses. And that's the overview of the adaptive immune system.